Hello everyone. Today I am going to talk specifically about one of my book. It's about business metamorphosis, 50 tools to coach your way to success. So in this book I have specifically talked about different types of tools and how these tools can help individual and their productivity. This book has many chapters and some of these chapters are specific needs, and the 50 tools has been spread into these various chapters. And I realize that all these tools are very much helpful for every individual who are into the software product development journey. Every individuals are experiencing challenges in software product development journey. There are many topics, many stories, many materials. The internet is flooded with different types of tools. So I do not want to lost into this jungle of enormous amount of data. I want to focus and I want to be very clear about like what exactly I'm going to do. So from that perspective, I realize I should really talk about some specific tools which we are using daily basis. So the structure of the book has been distinct. Like as a coach, I always think like I have applied the coaching approach. Understand the concept and then ask many questions. Those questions are relevant to the context, and this context are very specific. What I am working in a retail industry is not similar in aerospace industry, not similar in healthcare industry. The same personalization tool, same story mapping tool, same conflict resolution tool will differ based on the context, and those contexts can be discovered by asking various questions. Now in this book I have asked those questions, and those questions need to be retrospect. These questions need to be relevant into your context and really apply there, and then see that how this can be useful. Just to give you an example, that's why I have specifically talked about. One of the tool I am constantly using is Suhari. I'm sure all of you have used this tool, Suhari, and how to use this tool to really mature our journey. Now I have started as a coach or as a software product developer or a product manager or a scrum master into a retail industry or into the aerospace industry or into the banking industry. Now Suhari tool, how can it help? Now if you really talk about, this book talks about what is Suhari in a simple steps, and then it talks about some of the examples like how Suhari can be used, and those examples need to be internalized into your own context. Like okay, if this story has been talked about this, and how it would be fit into my context. So and then in the next chapter it asks some of the powerful question about Suhari, and those questions need to be retrospect, internalize, and really write in a document, like as a Chandan or as a Ram or as a James, like how do I use these tools into my own context, and how this tool can really make me better. If I have to do the Suhari into my own context, how do I use it? In the next portion I have talked about the coaching conversation, like if you are a coach and if you are a coachee, then how do I inspire my team members to use this tool? Same model is followed in many other tools. Like there is another tool, ontological coaching. Now again, the similar types of conversation is how the ontology is relevant to me. How can I use my ontology? By asking some of the powerful question, and how ontology has been used in a certain story. I have written a story. Now you can use this story, read this story, and internalize in your own context, like okay, if this particular story is irrelevant to me, how do I use this? So every context I have been triggered to a thought. It is not just to read a book like a story books. No, you cannot use these books. This book is not made for that particular. It is not a story book. It is just to internalize. It is just to carve out the best from an individual reader. So that's the purpose of this book. All these books, whatever I have been written, the guidebook is all about like how can I become better by reading these books. It's a huge book, 500-page book. So you need to be really diligent in this context, like okay, I would like to really get best out of this book. So that means you need to start with your pen and paper and see that how this book can be utilized into your own context, and start writing about it. Like if I'm a Chandan, like how Chandan can be molded into better way, and on a daily basis when I exercise this tool, how can it make me a better version of the Chandan? I should not be the same Chandan whatever I have been in before I reading this book. So that's the intention of this book. This is how it has to be used. It has to be persistently read, apply, and internalize. Dot booting is one of the tools. Dot boarding is a product coaching tool. I am sure most of you have used this tool. Now in this book, what is the different things I have been talked about is actually how the dot boarding has been used, how the dot boarding has been applied, what are the questions need to be asked while doing the dot boarding, and what are the different stories dot boarding has been used in. So all these things has been highlighted. So this book is just kind of a trigger for you, which can actually help you to start your thinking. It will actually give you some kind of a structure, like when we have such a tools, like how do I structurally use this tool. Of course, the similar types of material abundantly available in the internet. So I just collate this information, put it into some of the structure, the way I have applied it in my own context to get the benefit out of it. Similar way I have put it. Like, so every tools, 50 tools, there are 10 pages of each tools, total 500 pages. So 10 pages is all first starting with what is the concept, and then what are the questions need to be asked, what are the different stories has applied, and how the coaching conversation has helped. Now it's up to us, like when you read this book, if this structure has triggered some kind of a thoughts in your mind, and when you talk to your colleagues, when you talk to your different other coaches or the team members, the similar types of conversation can help you to really mold this structure in a better way. So the overall intention is to structurally use this tool so that these tools can help you to become better. Just to give you a last example, like metaphor. Like metaphor is a very powerful tool, and every now and then, if you are a facilitator or if you are any tool in your conversation, you can significantly use this metaphor to really depict a complex conversation. So I have shared like how the metaphor has been used, like what is a metaphor, and then I've talked about what are the questions you need to ask when you use the metaphor tool, what are the fundamental questions you need to really delve into whenever you try to use this metaphor tool, and a coaching conversation, how a coach converts with the other coachee whenever they talk about the metaphor thing. And then I have share some of the common examples. I've shared some of the implementation of the metaphor. So as a whole, whenever you think about the metaphor, it has given you some structure, and you need to apply the structure in your own context and think, how can I use this metaphor in this structure in my own context? Find a problem, apply this tool, and become better at this. So like this way, these 50 tools is definitely make you better for tomorrow, no doubt about it. And please apply it. Try to see that, like, how can I bring best out of these tools? And I'm sure you will become more productive over a period of time when you start exercising similar types of tools more and more. Thank you so much for listening to me. I'll bring more such topics in future endeavor. Thank you.